All you want to do is ride around, Sally.
Ride, Sally, ride.
All you want to do is ride around, Sally.
Ride, Sally, ride.
All you want to do is ride, Sally.
Ride, Sally, ride.
All you want to do is ride around, Sally.
Ride, Sally, ride.
One of these early mornings, you're gonna be wiping your weeping eyes.
Good evening and welcome to Fairvale, your nighttime television drama of intrigue, romance, betrayal, and more dance numbers than really make sense for our nighttime television drama. Tonight, in our final episode, we untangle the web of intrigue, romance, betrayal, and finally answer the questions that have eluded our writing staff over the last 10 seasons. Will Manny Bucks, director of the Fairvale Medical Hospital and an all-around nice guy, be able to save his prized hospital from Bill, his cunning, dastardly, and evil identical twin brother, who lost his beloved and pregnant wife in an accident on the Amazon on a medical mission of mercy in South America? You might want to write this down. There'll be a quiz at the end of the show. Causing him to lose faith and take revenge on the world and those around him by starting the first and now largest and most greedy health maintenance organization.
Bill, I know you're my cunning and dastardly evil identical twin brother. As I was saying, I know you're my cunning and dastardly evil identical twin brother who lost his beloved wife in an accident on the Amazon and who decided to take revenge on the world by creating the first and largest. What's that?
Unnecessary dramatic chords designed to heighten tension.
Well, tell him to cut it out. It's very distracting. Let me try this again. I know you're my cunning and dastardly evil identical twin brother who lost his beloved wife in an accident on the Amazon and who decided to take revenge on the world by creating the first and largest and most greedy HMO in the country. But you can't seriously expect me to run a hospital without spending any money.
Without spending my money, Manny. My money. Look, all I'm telling you to do is eliminate the use of expensive x-ray machines and replace them with a couple of strong flashlights. See, if you squint real hard, you can see where I broke my finger last year trying to steal a quarter from a payphone.
I simply cannot ask my doctors to work in these conditions.
Listen here, Manny. They either work how I tell them, or they don't work at all.
You know, I've been doing this show for 10 years, and I still can't tell those two apart. Anyway, back to my expertly delivered drama-filled introductions. Will the incredibly gorgeous, sensitive, smart, and single Dr. Riley Handsome, with his trusted sidekick, Nurse IV, be able to save the life of this mysterious patient who 6 months ago stumbled into the hospital entrance, gasped, and fell into a deep yet inexplicable coma, failing to complete the appropriate insurance forms, thus infuriating Bill Bucks, who you know as Manny's cunning, dastardly, and evil identical twin brother, who sees his patient yet as another example of hospital waste.
Dr. Handsome, I'm very concerned about our patient. Her pulse is slow, her breathing is erratic, and her skin is cold to the touch. And yet, Bill Bucks, the cunning, dastardly, and evil identical twin brother of Manny Bucks, is demanding that we release her as fully recovered.
Yes, Nurse Ivy, everything you say is true. Her pulse, breathing, and skin are all in very poor shape. I have only one concern that is greater than all of that.
Yes, doctor, yes. What is it?
I'm very concerned that anytime anyone mentions Manny Buck's brother, we're gonna have to hear that he's cunning, dastardly, and evil.
Oh, yes, Dr. Handsome, yes, you're so right.
Oh, Nurse Ivy.
Yes, doctor?
Where are those new orderlies? This patient needs a new bedpan.
Oh, yes, doctor.
Oh, man.
Will John and Marcia, who met for the very first time just last week, when both were sent by the Fairvale temp agency to work as the new orderlies at the medical center, who fell madly and instantly in love with each other, be able to overcome their fluttering hearts to leave the hospital break room and change a bedpan or two?
John. Marcia. John. Marcia. John. Marcia.
Will Lotta Bucks, devoted wife and soulmate of Manny Bucks, as well as the head of PTA, den mother, swim team director, yard duty coordinator, bus monitor, and CEO of 2 Fortune 500 companies, be able to raise enough money at the Twin Lakes Rock and Roll fundraiser to build the much needed and aptly named Ernie Tavella Nursing and Rest Home for Aging and Generally Decrepit Teachers. Despite the lack of support she's getting from the musicians in the band.
Look, if I've told you once, I've told you 100 times. You're playing too loud. This is about the children, not a bunch of washed-up, aging musicians looking for one last.
Watch out now.
Looking for one last shot at rock star glory. Now, please, one more time from the top. Eunice,
Yes, Mrs. Bucks?
make a note.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
No more donuts for the band.
No, don't. The back.
Yes,
I'm out of here.
Bucks.
And will I, and announcer, veteran voiceover actor of stage, TV, and movie trailers, be able to survive the rest of the show? Where after this lengthy and often humorous introduction, I am left with the tiresome and transitional lines of, meanwhile, back at the hospital, and meanwhile, back at the rehearsal, while everyone else gets all the good dialogue. Oh well, here we go. Meanwhile, back at the rehearsal.
So please give a Twin Lakes-sized welcome for the Williams Wonders performing I'm Ready.
Yeah. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four.
Meanwhile, back at the hospital.
It's no good, Manny. No good at all. Sickness is up and revenues are down. Your hospital beds are full, but my bank account is empty. Either you turn this business around, or I'll shut the doors and convert this place into a highly profitable parking garage.
But the patients, Bill, what about the patients? I simply must put their health before the bottom line of your HMO.
How can you be so pathetic, Manny? This is about profits, not patients. Now you either implement the drastic cost-cutting measures I outlined, or you'll soon find yourself sitting at the Fairvale parking garage asking people to, please take the ticket. Please take the ticket.
All right, Bill. All right. You win. I'll make your changes. But if we lose even one patient as a result of your cost-cutting schemes, it will be on your head.
You heard him? Now get back to work.
You know, I could never tell the two of them apart.
It's uncanny.
Meanwhile, back at the break room.
John?
Marcia?
John?
Marcia.
John!
Marcia? Meanwhile, back at the rehearsal. No, no, no! That's
What?
not right!
Now.
Now you're playing much too fast!
I didn't
How are
count
the
it.
children supposed to keep up when you rush, rush, rush?
Yeah.
Eunice?
Yes, Mrs. Bucks?
What?
Make a note.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
No more donuts or coffee for the band.
No.
That'll slow them down.
Yes,
Show her
Mrs.
your
Bucks.
donut.
But,
Quiet. That's enough of that. You'll take what I give you and you'll like it. Okay, people, we have a show to do. Looks like Huntley's class is up next. Ron, are the kids ready? Where is he? Somebody check the computer lab. He's probably downloading a file from ArthurMurrayDanceStudios.com in a futile attempt to learn the steps before the show. How am I supposed to put on a successful fundraiser without everyone here when I need them? Oh well, we'll just have to start without him. Eunice,
Yes, Mrs. Bucks?
make a note.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Remove Mr. Huntley from my holiday card list.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Okay, dancers ready. Lights. Huntley's dancers, from the top.
Would you please welcome the Huntley Hip Cats and watch how great they can shake, rattle, and roll.
One, two, three.
Kick and balance.
Meanwhile, back at the hospital.
Nurse Ivy?
Yes, Dr. Handsome?
Nurse Ivy?
Yes, doctor?
Well, you've changed.
I don't know what you mean, Dr. Handsome.
Oh. Okay, well, you take the patient's blood pressure while I check her temperature.
Oh, doctor, this'll never work. How are we supposed to care for our patients without the proper medical tools?
I understand how you feel, Nurse Ivy, but we must remember that this is just a nighttime television drama, and it doesn't matter what we use, since it's up to the writers whether the patient lives or dies.
That's a very scary thought, Dr. Handsome.
However, we are highly paid professional television actors, and the script does say that we become upset and decide to take action.
Oh, yes, Dr. Handsome. Yes, you are so right.
I'll speak to Mandy Bucks about this right away.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Handsome. Thank you.
Meanwhile, back at the rehearsal.
That was perfect. Simply perfect. Of course, it would have been much better without all those wrong notes.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
Yes, Mrs. Bucks?
Make a note.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Consider replacing the band when the accordion ends their ensemble.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Anything would be better than these losers.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Okay, people, let's keep this rehearsal moving along. Wombird's class, take it away.
The song is Johnny Be Good, and here to perform it for you tonight are the Wild Waylon Wallenbergs.
one, two, three. One, two, three, four.
Hey, look at a block of six!
Meanwhile, back at the hospital.
Nurse Ivy and I have been talking it over, and we simply cannot take care of our patients properly with equipment bought from the Fairvale rummage sale.
Dr. Handsome is right. It is unethical to treat our patients this way.
Look, I understand this may be difficult for you and the rest of the staff, but I simply have no choice in this matter. Bill Bucks is calling the shots now.
No, Manny, you listen to me. Either we see some immediate improvements or we're going on strike.
Hey, you have to wait after us.
What's going on here? And who's she?
That's Nurse Ivy.
So why aren't these two working?
Well, Bill, the staff is revolting.
You don't really want to use that old joke, do you?
If you wouldn't mind, it's one of my favorites.
Okay. Well, Manny, you're pretty revolting yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now you two listen to me. This hospital is nothing but a money-losing mess, and you either find a way to fix it, or I'm turning this place into a 10-story parking garage. Have you ever parked cars for a living, Dr. Handsome?
No, but I was a waiter at a trendy LA restaurant before landing this acting job.
And I took tickets to the LA Theater Summer Workshop.
Listen, you morons. I'm not wasting any more time or money here. Either you make this hospital profitable by the end of tonight's show, or you can kiss these highly paid acting jobs goodbye.
Oh, no! Not that!
Oh, Bill Bucks, you are cunning, dastardly, and evil. Thank you. Now listen here. I'm giving you 2 hours to revive this patient and get her insurance number, or I'll take matters into my own hands. Wahahaha!
Ooh, yes. Yeah, yes.
Meanwhile, back at the rehearsal.
Please, please, please. I need you to play with more feeling. Don't you understand? Feeling. We are trying to raise money to build the Ernie Tabella Nursing and Rest Home for aging and generally decrepit teachers, where most of you will be living next year.
Hey, watch out.
So I need you to play with more feeling.
That hurts.
Now cut that out. Stop it! Are you quite finished yet?
Huh? No. One more round.
Eunice,
Yes, Mrs. Bucks?
make a note.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Put all band members at the bottom of the nursing home admissions list.
Whoa, wait a minute. That's not right.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Okay.
Mrs. Bucks.
Looks like Grazier's class is up next. Mrs. Grazier, are you ready? Mrs. Grazier? I don't care if the Kings did lose in 4. Her class is up now. Song and Nuts number 4. Are you ready? Okay, lights, action.
Please get ready to rock and give a Twin Lakes Cougar welcome to the Gracie Group doing the classic song, Rockin' Robin.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rock, rock, 'cause you're really gonna rock tonight.
at the hospital. Gauze.
Gauze.
More gauze.
More gauze.
Still more gauze.
Still more gauze.
Scalpel.
Scalpel.
Oh no, doctor, you touched the funny bone.
I can't work like this, Nurse IV. I don't care if it saves the hospital money. This new training program is childish. And where are those new orderlies? And how come you look different every time I see you? I can't take it anymore.
There, doctor. Let's try it one more time.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Gauze.
Gauze.
Meanwhile, back at the break room.
John. Marcia. John. John. Marcia. John. Marcia.
Meanwhile, oh, you know the rest.
That was a little better. Maybe you aren't such losers after all. If you keep up this sort of improvement, there'll be donuts, coffee,
Oh, yeah.
and early enrollment at the nursing home from all of you. Eunice,
Yes, Mrs. Bucks?
don't do that.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Make a note.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Watch the band for further signs of improvement.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Oh, and Eunice,
Yes, Mrs. Bucks?
don't you ever get tired of saying yes, Mrs. Bucks?
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Well, make a note of that. I'll talk to the writers and see if I can get you some better lines.
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Okay, people, we have a show to do. Mrs. Gibbons, is your class ready? Mrs. Gibbons? Where is she? She's probably at home, packing her things for the teacher's rest home right now. Oh, well. Oh, well, we'll just have to start without her. Song and dance number 5, from the top.
So please give it up big time for the Gibbons gang and rip it up.
One, two, three.
Dance
a hospital.
I just need more time, Bill. We're doing everything we can to make this place profitable. But things like this take time.
Time is one thing you don't have, Manny. This show ends in another 10 or 15 minutes, and I expect to see profits by then, or else. And what's going on with that patient? Have you revived her yet?
We're trying, Bill. We're trying.
That's your problem, Manny. You're always trying my patience.
Ooh, that was bad.
Sorry, but if your staff can be revolting, I can try my patience. Now, I'll be back in just a little while, and either you take care of that patient, or I will.
He was so much nicer before he became cunning, dastardly, and evil.
Mr. Bucks, where's Manny?
I'm Manny Bucks, and who are you?
Why, I'm Nurse Ivy. I thought you were Bill.
It's all right. It happens all the time. What's wrong?
You better come quick. The patient's vital signs are failing, and Dr. Hanson is struggling to save her.
I'll be right there.
No. Just when I thought it was all coming together, you had to go and blow it. Too fast, too slow, wrong notes, out of tune. And for Mrs. Gibbons' class, I suppose you think she didn't notice. If I had my way, you'll never work in this town again.
Oh, wait. Hey, that's fighting words, isn't it?
Your husband just called and needs you to come quickly to the hospital. His brother Bill is threatening to turn the building into a parking garage if things don't improve quickly. He also says he's going to pull the plug on the unidentified patient if Dr. Handsome and Nurse IV don't revive her soon. Since you're on the hospital board of directors, he's hoping you can avert an almost certain catastrophe.
Eunice, very good. Now that was much better, wasn't it?
Yes, Mrs. Bucks.
Okay, let's get on with the show, shall we? Mrs. Bush's class is next. Oh, Mrs. Bush, are you ready? She's ready. Here, Eunice, hold my clipboard. I'll be back as soon as possible. Bush's class, you're on.
Here to represent the Motown sound tonight are the Bush Bunch and the classic song Hitchhike.
One, two, three, four.
Dr. Handsome, tell me what's going on.
It doesn't look good, Manny. The patient's pulse is deteriorating and her breathing is abnormal. Her temperature is falling and she's quickly dehydrating. I've tried everything to save her, but nothing's working. Let's face it, I'm just an average actor with good looks, but no... But I know nothing about medicine. Oh, Manny, oh.
Pull yourself together, man. We must save this patient. I know desperate times call for desperate measures. Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor in the house?
Well, I'm a doctor.
But I thought you were a nurse.
I am a nurse. I mean, I'm an actress playing a nurse. Well, actually, I'm a doctor in real life. I took up acting to pay the bills when HMOs made surviving on a doctor's income nearly impossible.
This is all very confusing.
Manny, Eunice said you needed me at the hospital right away. What's going on?
You don't want to know.
Riley, go find those orderlies. We may need their help.
Right, Dr. Ivy.
Manny, keep an eye on the EKG and let me know if her heart rate slows further.
Yes, doctor.
Lotta, keep an eye out for Bill Bucks. The last thing we need is for him to get in the way. I'm going to try and stabilize her vitals and find a way to bring her back.
Hurry, here comes Bill Bucks.
Meanwhile, back in the break room.
John. Marcia. John. Marcia.
Are you John and Marcia? The two new orderlies? I've been looking for you all over the place. You're needed in room 123 right away.
John. Marcia. John. Marcia.
Will you two get a move on?
You sure know how to sing, Mr. Fagnani. And Mrs. Teresi, that was some fine sax playing, and I simply love those horn arrangements, Mr. Plummer-Rayfield. You all keep up this great work, and this will be the finest rock and roll show ever. Musicians, give him a few compliments and you own them. Oh, look, Mrs. Ethington's class is next. How I admire Mrs. Ethington, the Ginger Rogers of elementary education, the Sid Charisse of 5th grade, the Britney Spears of room 32. Well, let's not get too carried away. Okay, everybody, at the hop, from the top.
So hang on to your seats because here are the Ethingtons and at the hop.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Rocky road, we softly stroll at the
am I?
What's going on? I was having the strangest dream. There was a hospital room and a patient in a coma and lots of people standing around. For some inexplicable reason, I was standing just outside the entrance. This is very, very weird.
I've stabilized the patient for now, but I can't seem to wake her up. I'm afraid she could be in a coma for a long, long time.
You've done your best, Nurse Ivy.
That does it. I've had it with all of you weak-willed people. It's time to pull the plug on this comatose waste of money and free up this space for some real revenue.
I can't let you do this, Bill. You may not place a very high value on the sanctity of every life, but I do.
Out of my way. This will soon be my hospital, and I'll do what I want.
Where am I? Who am I? And who are all you people? Could it be? I can't believe my eyes. Is it you? Bill? Bill Bucks? My long-lost husband who I last saw trying to rescue me as I was swept away by the raging Amazon. Oh, Bill.
No, I'm Annie. Bill's right over there.
I could never tell the two of you apart. Bill, it's so good to see you again. But you look, well, cunning, dastardly, and evil. Oh, Bill, I can feel it. My memory, it's completely restored. I remember it all now as if it happened yesterday. It was a beautiful sunny afternoon, and we were climbing some rocks along the Amazon to celebrate the birth of our child in a few months, when I slipped and fell into the raging river. I struggled to stay afloat as the swirling waters carried me downstream to an uncertain future when I struck my head on a rock and lost consciousness. I was rescued by some locals who brought me back to their home and nursed me back to health. But I still didn't know who I was or how I ended up floating down the Amazon. The head injury had erased all of my memory. Yet, somehow, I knew there must be someone out there looking for me. You have been looking for me, haven't you? My host arranged for a safe return to the United States, where I gave birth to not one child, but twins. Imagine that, Bill. Twins, a boy and a girl. I still didn't know who I was, so the authorities forced me to put them up for adoption, and I haven't seen them for 17 years. My one consolation was that I give them their names before handing them over to their new families. I named the boy John and the girl Marcia.
John?
Marcia?
John?
Marcia?
Ew, gross! At least we didn't kiss or anything.
Where's the disinfectant?
I think I'm going to be sick.
It was fate, and a much-needed dramatic element to this show that brought me here to Fairvale 6 months ago, where I was out lawn bowling with some friends when a wild toss hit me in the head. I staggered to the nearest hospital where I fainted. But when I came to, there you were. I can't believe I finally found you and the children again after all these years. I guess I know now why my parents gave me the name they did. Lucky.
Could it be? Is it possible? My parents always told me I had a much older sister who ran away from home with some kind of a radical young medical student when she was 19, and I was only 4. They ended up in South America on some kind of a medical mission of mercy when the two of them were never heard from again. My mother would often pray that the name she had given her daughter would protect her from danger. Lucky, Lucky Handsome. Sis, is it you?
Riley? Riley Handsome?
Yeah, oh, hi!
Oops. Oh, gosh. Oh, this is so hard to believe.
You're telling me this is hard to believe?
Okay, out of my way, everybody. You know, I once had an uncle who married this woman after my aunt passed on, and she had 3 kids from a previous marriage, and one of those kids grew up to be a professional voiceover announcer. So, I'm kind of wondering, second step cousins once removed.
And the writers get paid how much to come up with endings like this?
Listen, everyone, listen. I feel like a new man. How can you ever forgive me for being so cunning, dastardly, and evil?
Manny, psst, Manny. I think that's my line.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
I could never tell the two of us apart.
Listen, everyone, listen. I feel like a new man. How can you ever forgive me for being so cunning, dastardly, and evil? How could I ever repay this debt I owe to all of you?
I have an idea. If you donate all the HMO profits to the construction of the teachers' nursing and rest home, then we'll forget about your horrible past and even give you a seat on the board.
All the profits?
All the profits.
Okay. I'll do it. Under one condition. I get to fulfill one last cunning, dastardly, and evil wish.
And what would that be?
I want to see those teachers dance for their dollars.
Hey, everyone, can I get some help? Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Meanwhile, back at the rehearsal,
What kind of an ending is that? I'm so confused. Let's see. John and Marcia are brother and sister, and they're the long-lost children of Bill and Lotta. Or is it Manny and Lotta? Or maybe Dr. Handsome and Nurse Ivy. You need a genealogy map just to keep track of the players. I mean, can you actually believe that somebody actually sat at a computer and wrote that? Plus, if you think those jokes were old, wait until you see our next act. I'm thinking they'll be ready to move into Ernie Tavel's rest home sooner than they think. But they're gonna try and dance for you tonight, and I hope Rick Williams plays the song right. So let's show them some respect and give them a loud cheer. Some of them are hard of hearing. For the Twin Lakes staff doing the most famous Aretha Franklin song, Respect. Respect.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's the 11th annual Twin Lakes Rock and Roll Show. And here's your hostess for tonight, Eunice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Twin Lakes Rock and Roll Fundraiser. Tonight, we hope to dazzle you with delightful dance and melodious music. We've gathered a fine collection of darling dancers and masterful musicians to entertain and amuse you. Before I get started, let's have a word from our principal, Ernie Tavella. Ernie?
Thank you, Eunice. Thank you. I want to be the first to welcome you to the Twin Lakes Rock and Roll Show. This show really is nearly unique in this school district. There are 52 elementary schools, only 2 have rock and roll shows, but none has a band as good as this. Thank you. Thank you very much. The real key to this, however, is you. Parents, students, and this tremendous staff that make this night work so well. Wow, that's the easiest job I've ever had at a rock and roll show, Eunice. Thanks.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you. Now, without further ado, on with the show.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll.
But not least, a parent that did just a couple of minor little things to help this show tonight. First of all, he wrote the script. Secondly, he helped coach some of the kids along with Carrie Bush. Carrie Bush did a fabulous job of coaching all the kids on the acting tonight. Thank you, Carrie. And one of her assistants was our dad that's here on trumpet tonight. He is the dad of Elena Plummer-Raphael, who's back on lights. And his son has a little minor role tonight. You can figure out who that is later. On trumpet, Mr. Richard Plummer-Raphael. We are the Accidental Teachers, and we thank you for coming to the show. Tonight, I have a little bit of instructions for you.